From secret skills to untold influence, discover the best 5 hidden powers of the Queen that will leave you astonished. Number 5. The secret superpower of the British monarch. Yep, we're talking about the Queen's unique relationship with the law. Let's jump in. In the United Kingdom, the reigning monarch enjoys a special legal status known as sovereign immunity. This means that Queen Elizabeth II and any future monarchs cannot be prosecuted or sued in their personal capacity. It's like having a get-out-of-jail-free card, but way more official. So why does this matter? Well, it means that technically the Queen is above the law. But before you imagine her going on a crime spree, let's get one thing clear. She's incredibly careful about following the law. According to the official royal website, the Queen is meticulous about ensuring that all her activities are carried out in strict accordance with the law. This isn't just for show. It's a vital part of maintaining the trust and respect of the public. But what about international law, you ask? While it's theoretically possible for a monarch to face consequences under international law, in reality, the political and diplomatic fallout would make it highly unlikely. This brings us to a topic that has fueled numerous conspiracy theories: the death of Princess Diana. Official investigations have concluded it was a tragic accident, but the theories persist. It's a reminder of how intense public scrutiny can be for the royal family. So there you have it. The Queen's fascinating legal superpower and a peek into the complexities of royal life. Number 4. Did you know that the British monarch can travel anywhere without needing a passport? Yep, that's right. Queen Elizabeth II didn't need one, and now King Charles III doesn't either. Let me tell you why. All UK passports are issued in the name of the reigning monarch. So when it comes to the Queen or King themselves, they don't need one. It's like being the ultimate VIP. Queen Elizabeth II traveled extensively during her reign. She never had to worry about her passport expiring, a bad passport photo, or whether she had the right visa for her destination. Imagine that freedom. But let's talk about the rest of the royal family. Even they need passports to travel. So, while it might be a royal family, that privilege of no passport travel is reserved for the monarch alone. Can you imagine what a flex that is? So next time you're stuck in a long immigration line, remember? Somewhere out there, the British monarch is breezing through without a passport. Lucky them, right? Number 3. Did you know that the reigning monarch of the United Kingdom has the right to claim ownership of any unmarked mute swan swimming in open waters? This isn't a modern law, but one that stretches back to medieval times. Back then, swans were a symbol of wealth and status. They were even served at lavish banquets, so it made sense that their ownership was tightly controlled by the crown. Fast forward to today, this tradition is still alive and well, albeit in a more symbolic form. Every year there's an event called Swan upping on the River Thames. Here, swans are counted, marked, and checked for their health. During swan upping, officials in traditional uniforms row along the river, carefully catching the swans. They mark new signets and ensure the birds are healthy. It's a beautiful blend of conservation and heritage. While the monarch technically has the right to claim ownership of these swans, it's largely ceremonial today. The focus is on protecting these elegant creatures and preserving a unique piece of history. So, next time you see a swan gliding gracefully on a lake, remember, they might just belong to the crown. Number 2. Ever wondered if the British monarch can stop a law from being passed? Let's dive into the intriguing power of veto. As the monarch of the Commonwealth countries, the Queen technically holds the power to veto any bill that comes through Parliament. Imagine this. A law reaches her desk and she just says, "Nah, not today." Sounds pretty powerful, right? But don't worry, this rarely happens. The last time a British monarch used this power was way back in 1708, when Queen Anne vetoed a bill. She rejected the Scottish Militia Bill, fearing it would lead to Scotland aligning with France. Since then, monarchs like Queen Elizabeth II have respected the democratic process. They understand that their role is more ceremonial than political. It's all about tradition and symbolism now. So, how did we get here? The power dynamics between the monarchy and parliament have evolved over centuries. The Glorious Revolution of 1688 was a major turning point, establishing the supremacy of parliament over the crown. This laid the foundation for today's constitutional monarchy. The Bill of Rights, 1689, a cornerstone of this revolution, limited the powers of the monarch and ensured that Parliament would have the final say in legislative matters. This shift was crucial in making the monarchy a more symbolic institution. Nowadays, the Queen's duties are largely ceremonial, like the state opening of Parliament, where she delivers the Queen's speech, outlining the government's agenda. It's a tradition that underscores the continuity and stability of the British constitutional system. So, while the Queen can theoretically veto laws, doing so would cause quite a political uproar. The monarchy today is more of a status symbol, a nostalgic nod to the past, rather than a governing force. It's a fascinating blend of history and tradition. Number 1. Can the Queen of England vote? You might think that since the UK government is separate from the monarchy, and with the Queen being above the government, she wouldn't be allowed to vote. You'd assume she needs to stay out of politics, so that democracy can truly be in the hands of the citizens, right? Well, you'd be wrong. The Queen is actually allowed to vote. But here's the twist. She chooses not to. Why, you ask? It's all about staying politically neutral. The Queen represents all citizens regardless of their political beliefs. By not voting, she maintains a position of impartiality and unity. This tradition of neutrality ensures that her influence doesn't sway public opinion or the democratic process. Imagine the Queen endorsing a political party. Her support could tilt elections and undermine the very democracy she aims to symbolize. Now, some of you might think, if I were Queen, I'd want to voice my opinions and drive change. And yes, throughout history, change often comes from those who take a stand. But the Queen's role is unique. Her silence in political matters isn't about indifference. It's about preserving stability and continuity in the UK. Her neutrality helps keep the democratic process fair and unbiased.